Glad to see y'all. I'd like to welcome y'all to the Tuesday, June the 17th, 2025 meeting of the Denton County Commissioners Court. We're glad to have y'all with us today. And I know we have people watching online. Welcome. We're glad to have you. At this time, I'd like to welcome the Denton County Veteran Service Officer, Paul Bastich, forward. He's going to lead us in our invocation, and our pledges will be led by Clint Shepard. If you'll please stand. And I want to remind everybody to please turn off your cell phones.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Please pray with me. Dear Lord, as we begin the third week of June, a month of new beginnings, may we be reminded the meaning of Juneteenth. It marks the day of freedom. May we never forget or relive the days of slavery. We are all equal and loved by you, dear Lord. Heavenly and gracious Father, we give you thanks and praise for your blessings and answered prayers. Thank you to our state leaders granting bills to provide tax relief to our homeowners. Hear our humble prayer, dear Lord. Heal our land in this time of world uncertainty. Do not forsake your children. I ask that you be with us, continue to keep us safe and watch over us. Bless all the first responders for the protection and safety they provide. Use us in ways needed to do your will. Be with those serving in the military, as the need may rise for their action. I pray against financial problems, homelessness, poverty, hunger, and sickness. Oh Lord, I thank you that you are a God that can bring anyone into your loving arms and set them upon a path of righteousness. As the weather continues to warm, keep us safe and healthy. Let us be reminded that you are always in control. Heavenly Father, I pray that you would move mightily in the lives of your children. I pray that you shower down blessings, favor, healing, and prosperity. May you give strength to the weary, comfort to the grieving, and restoration to the broken hearts and relationships. Be with us in this courtroom today, with our leaders and citizens of this great county, the state, and the nation. May we walk in your way, do what is right for your fellow brothers and sisters. All this we ask in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
All right,
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, one God, one and indivisible.
well, thank you, Paul, and thank you, Clint. We have several guests with us today that have registered to speak, and so this is what we'll do. We'll do our public comment forms number 1, which is for items that are not listed on the agenda. So I believe I have Jane Schultz and Carol Soph. So we'll do y'all, and the rest of y'all are here for the 4A, and so we'll do 1, and we'll hear from y'all, which we're glad to have y'all here, and then we'll go directly into our public hearings. Does that sound good? So that's kind of how we'll divide this out this morning. So let's go to item 1 for public input for items not listed on the agenda. We do have 2 registered speakers, so we'll go ahead and go first to Jane. Where are you, Jane? Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for coming back. So we'll go ahead, and I will remind you all that our public comments are limited to 3 minutes. So go ahead, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jane Schultz. I live at 9913 Silver Rock Way in Denton, and I'm here to advocate for countywide election day voting in our county, aka vote centers. Now, my colleagues at Voting Centers Now, a bunch of volunteer election workers, have worked on this issue for some time, and we've concluded that there is no justification for our horse and buggy election day voting system that inflicts distress and confusions on thousands of voters in every election. And now, with estimates of redirects from 2 election days and a firm count on a 3rd, we now know that on individual election day, 10 to 15% of Denton voters struggle to vote because of our home precinct voting rule. That's 1,300 to 7,000 voters on every single election day. Now, since this happens to different people in every election, it's easy to see how over time, half or more of the county's voters may have had the unpleasant and sometimes dangerous experience of racing to get to the right polling place by 7 p.m. Most voters don't understand the rules about home precinct votings or provisional ballots, and when you tell them this problem could have been fixed by you folks during the last 4 years, they ask, why not? And they don't like the answer. And when we tell them the problem doesn't occur in 99 other Texas counties, they are shocked. A lot of them get angry. Now, I want to thank Commissioners Mitchell, Falconer, and Williams for meeting with my group, and County GOP Chair Melinda Preston for making time for me yesterday. Good. Most of you seem concerned about the way voters are being treated, but I gotta tell you, you don't have a good story to tell on this to your voters. Some of you seem to feel that this problem ought to be solved, but you're unwilling to exercise the political muscle it would take to solve it. Here's what we've proposed. Initiating countywide election day voting for all elections, just like 99 other Texas counties with 85% of the state's voters, or if that's not possible, having countywide election day voting just for non-primary election, or failing either of those options, having the county mail or call every single voter in the county before every election, telling them where to vote on election day. Now, that's an expensive proposition. And some of you have said, well, it's not really worthwhile because you don't hear enough complaints from unhappy voters. So, we're going to change that. First, with a campaign to get signatures on a petition for vote centers. And second, by signing up ordinary voters to speak on the topic regularly during this public comment period. And then, of course, there are the 2026 elections, where this might just be a campaign issue as we make more voters aware of the problem, why it has not been fixed, and who has not fixed it.
Ms. Schultz, go ahead and complete your sentence where time is up, but go ahead.
Okay. Now, of course, this problem with the 2026 election is one that you can avoid at any time just by giving voters what they want, which is voting centers now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. All right. Next is Carol Soph. Am I pronouncing that correct? Okay. Sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Carol Soph, and I'm here today out of concern for the cuts to the Meals on Wheels program for the DADS clients here in Denton. DADS is Texas's Department of Aging and Disability Service, and it plays a crucial role in providing financial support for the Meals on Wheels program. In the next few weeks, these vulnerable DADS clients who cannot advocate for themselves and who are homebound will not be receiving their meals. I am a volunteer driver for Meals on Wheels and was previously co-director with Gene Giese in the late 1980s, when the organization was all volunteer and Flo Hospital provided the meals. Denton has grown since those days, and now SPAN runs the organization. But volunteers still deliver the meals and check up on these homebound clients. It is vitally important that the DADS clients continue to receive their meals, and I am asking the county to help because of the immediate need. With shifting budget cuts in the federal government support, the entire Meals on Wheels program is at risk. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I'll just make it clear that is not county funding, I believe. So, thank you. All right, let's go to, there's no other individuals registered to speak for item 1, so we will proceed forward to item 4A. 4A on our agenda is public hearing to consider and approve the placement of a traffic signal with interim all-way stop signs at the intersection of Robeson Ranch Road and Ed Robeson Road, Cleveland Gibbs Road, located in Denton County Commissioner Precinct 4. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
I move we open the public
We have a
hearing.
motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We are in a public hearing. I would like to see if Stephen Belknap or Tina, who would like from the staff, would like to outline any of the discussion points here.
There's Tina.
Good morning, Tina. I'd like to hear the staff give an overview, and then we have several public individuals registered to speak for public comments, so go right ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioner. The city of Denton has warranted the signal at, on Robeson Road. It's at Ed Robeson and Cleveland Gibbs. And previously, you know, we've had signals come in, and typically they're on state roads where they're the primary road, and that's where the stops are, and we already have stops. Well, this one, we do not have stops currently on Robeson Ranch Road. So we have asked for permission and basically to make it legal according to our, I guess, state statute is
Right.
we have to do a public meeting to accept for, let's see, let me start there. Except as provided in 251.159 before the Commissioners Court may issue traffic regulations under this subchapter, the Commissioners Court shall hold a public hearing on the proposed regulation. So that's what we're asking to do, is to hold a public hearing for the acceptance of the signal one and then the stop signs. According to the MUTCD, it says where traffic control signals are justified, the multi-way stop is an interim measure, so that's what we're asking with the stop signs, interim measure, that can be installed quickly to control traffic while arrangements are being made for the installation of traffic control signal. So that's, we're basically trying to make it legal and get the court's approval.
So the ultimate desire here is for there to be the intersection be controlled by signalization, but also to install stop signs as an interim.
As an interim, correct.
As
And the
in the
stop signs
meantime.
would be on Robeson Ranch because Ed Robeson and Cleveland Gibbs currently have stop signs, so it's adding the stop signs on Robeson Road.
Okay, okay. All right, perfect. Thank you, members. Do you have any questions of Tina
Just a
Massey? Okay.
quick
All right.
quick question for
Yes,
Tina.
go ahead.
So, about how long is it to get the actual signalization? So how long would the interim?
The signal right now is being designed by our consultant, and they've turned it over to, the city of Denton's going to let the project. They've turned it over to the city of Denton for review. I don't have an exact date right now because there's also a water line that they've got, that they're in reviewing too, because we're supposed to be widening the pavement. So I don't have an exact timeline on when the signal will be installed, but they're currently working on the design and resolving the water line. And hopefully that doesn't have to be moved, and we can go to, the city of Denton can go to let the project.
Right, but just roughly weeks, months, or years?
Is it-
Commissioner, consultant with the city of Denton, they already have the actual equipment.
Okay.
So that delay in ordering, you know, signalization and lighting equipment, they already have it in stock and available.
Got
So we're looking less than 6 months is a preliminary,
I'm just
you know.
looking for something approximate.
So they're doing a
This
Sioux
is
contract.
John Polster.
Yeah.
Well, John Polster, ITS, infamous. We're doing a Sioux contract right now in those both areas because there may be some utility issues that maybe have to be impacted. We figure they'll be done in about 20 to 30 days. I got Will Barisi back here if I get anything wrong. City of Denton's already pretty familiar with that area, and so what they've agreed to do, we just had met with them last week. They are going ahead and starting to do the foundations for the poles, and we got to do some re-striping of the pavement to make sure we have all the movements. And like Jody said, they've got a signal that they're not using on 380 anymore, so there's no downtime on that. Once it's ready to install, then this will be installed. So I think it'll be less than 6 months. I think 3 or 4 max.
Got it. And I assume the stop signs would go in almost immediately.
Yes, we've got the stop signs ordered. We're gonna get a pavement plan from them on the striping from the consultant. And then as soon as we get that, we're gonna move out there and install anything. We're gonna have message boards out there because it is a new stop. They're not familiar with it, so we're gonna have message boards out there also. And the stop signs that we're proposing to use are the flashing ones, so.
Right, got it. Thank you.
And that's on the east-west portion.
Yes, ma'am, on Robeson.
okay.
It's the Robeson Road, be the new stop there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Tina? Okay, thank you, Tina. All right, we have several people registered to speak. And we have Ethan, I can't read because this is faded, this copy. Is it
We need
Boone?
your pen.
Ethan Boone?
Bidney?
I cannot read this. If y'all can read it, I might have a bad copy here. So,
It's Bidney.
are you in Willett Way?
It's
Come on
Rick.
down.
Yeah, Rick, something.
Ethan,
Bidney.
Rick. I can't read this. I'm so sorry. Go right ahead.
That's fine.
We're glad to have you, though. Go ahead and say your name for the record,
Thank you.
please, sir.
I'm Ethan Bidney. I go by Rick. I live at 12009 Willett Way.
Yes, sir.
I hadn't checked to speak, but I'm glad I'm having the opportunity. There's 3 points that I want to address. One is speed. We're addressing the signalization of that intersection. But the speed on Robeson Ranch Road is currently posted at 50 miles an hour. We all know that 50 is the beginning point, and 55 and 60 is the normal speed on that road. In conjunction with the ridge as you approach this intersection from the east going west, the intersection is not visible until you're about 100 yards from it. And at that speed, someone that's not aware of what's in front of them, we are creating an invitation for disaster. So please give some consideration to speed in conjunction with this. The other point is I want to thank you for doing the stop signs as an interim basis, and I'm tickled to death to hear that we're looking at 4 to 6 months to have the actual installation. So that eliminates a lot of my concerns before. So I appreciate your efforts on this. I appreciate you affirmative vote and getting this moving. Thank you.
Perfect, good. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here.
Rick.
All right, next let's go to Darrell Williams.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Darrell Williams. I live on Crestview Drive and,
Hi, neighbor.
hi, Diane, in Robeson Ranch. Anyway, I'm more concerned about a false sense of security here with the new stoplight and stuff coming in without all the other items of slowing that traffic down, as the gentleman previously said. You know, it's 50 miles an hour on there. Like he said, everybody goes 60, 65. People are flying through there, sometimes faster. And I'm not sure a stoplight is definitely going to decrease all the accidents that we're seeing happen. And we've had 4 in the last month or so. Now, I think over time it will, but until we address the speed limit, I think we've got a false sense of security here. There's a lot of accidents that happen at stoplights where the stoplight turns yellow and people are still going and they think, oh, I'll beat the stoplight, and then you got somebody pulling in front of you. We all know how that scenario plays out. So I'm hoping that you will consider, now that there will be a sign there saying that there is a 4-way stop ahead, again, with people speeding and maybe over in the one lane over and don't see that sign, whatever. It's, again, presenting a false sense of security for us that people are going to stop at that stop sign up there. So until we put extra stop lights throughout there from Hunter Ranch and on up, maybe 2 or 3 like they've done in Bartonville over here, where they've started putting extra stop lights along that road that they haven't turned them on yet, but they're getting ready to, that will slow that traffic down. But as long as we have a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, I think we have the problem is bigger than just fixing it with a stoplight there. Anyway, and I'm glad, and I hope that you're going to have turning lanes marked with the stoplight, so I didn't hear anybody mention that, but I hope surely there's going to be some turning lanes there, some signals for that, and that it's well marked. Thank you.
Carol,
Perfect.
thank you very much. And let me
what-
just let you know, we're looking at lots of other options. For example, we're looking at having a sign posted that would say, signal light ahead. So maybe, because you're right, when you come over that hill, unless you know that there's going to be something down. We're also looking at the speed limit that is 30 further down, and maybe we can edge that up so we can cut down on that 50 miles an hour. You're right, that is just the starting point for the speed. So we're open to any suggestions that you all want to give us. We'll have our consultant and engineer take a look at it. And thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. And I might say, I know when I first moved there 12 years ago, and there was no, that was all fields around there. So we had a 4-lane road. You could land a 747 on there if you wanted to. It was like an airstrip. And that's how people use it now. I mean, they're flying down through there like it's an airstrip. So that's my big concern, is that speed limit there and that false sense of security that stoplight is going to eliminate accidents. It's not going to eliminate it. It might reduce it. It's not going to eliminate them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and Mr. Williams, one of the things we can do is install signs that have a posted speed limit with also a radar that's on there, so that tells it your travel speed is 60 and a 50 that flashes. So that's something we can also do to help educate the public on what their travel speed is. So that's something we can do. That's relatively easy,
Because
so we
the
can do that.
population is expanded massively in that area. And I
Yes.
think we haven't caught up with that yet. So, all
Yeah. Okay,
right,
we
thank
can
you.
do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next is Jay Vandenbree. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Pronounced that better than my wife.
All right, good. Well, good morning.
I think Darrell took most of my 3 minutes, but the time to complete the light, I'm happy to hear that there's a more aggressive potential schedule for that. Just to be clear, we've had 4 accidents in the main gate in the last 6 weeks. So time is of the essence to get something in place for that. Second thing is, as you're exploring different ways to have the lights operate and turning lanes and those kinds of things, if that can be shared when you have a plan for that. I think about the lanes on the 288 loop and suddenly want to see what the lanes are going to be like for, around Ropes and Ranch. And then finally, maybe the use of, I guess I'll call them speed traps on that road to help bring the speed limit down by more of a corporal way than just signage. That road is straight as an arrow and flat as a board. It leads to driving quickly. So something that would deter that beyond just signage, I think would be worthwhile until that traffic light comes up, even if I got caught. I would like to see that.
Enforcement, it's enforcement.
Yes,
It's
sir.
Traffic enforcement. Yeah.
All right,
All
that's
right,
it.
good. Thank you,
We
sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. And we can discuss that as well. All right, next is Brian Montini. Good morning, sir. Also known as the mayor of North Lake. We're glad to have you.
Thank you for having me this morning. Honorable Judge and Commissioners, thank you for bringing this topic to light. It's very critical. There is a safety issue at that intersection, and we share in that as a neighbor to the city of Denton. A traffic signal is certainly warranted, and we fully support your efforts there. I am, however, concerned about temporary four-way stop. About the east-west traffic is about 100 cars to 1 versus north-south traffic. There's going to be quite a degree of inconvenience for east-west traffickers or travelers going across that route. I think both towns share responsibility here as well. I know some of our citizens do not stop at stop signs at the ridge. They roll through them and they pull out. This morning I watched 5 cars in a row roll straight out of Robeson without stopping at all.
Out of Robeson?
Out of Robeson.
Oh, my. I thought you said the ridge.
There is a major lack of enforcement on that road. We would love to help you all out, but the entire road and the right-of-way is in the city of Denton, and we cannot enforce there. Maybe we can look at an ILA. to help with enforcement. I don't know if that's something the city of Denton would be open to. But we could certainly need more enforcement there. I think the speed limit of 50 miles an hour is completely safe if it is adhered to. I think especially in longer stretches that we need to, lowering that further would just increase any fines. I don't think it would change behavior. We struggle with this in the city of Northlake as well. So furthermore, I believe that a signal light there is absolutely warranted, but does need the proper lane control. I believe that in the very near future, the entire length of Robeson Ranch Road will require a center turn lane so you can have protected turns in and out of the ridge, in and out of Robeson, Robeson Ranch, and the future development of, what do they call it now, Landmark. Without that, people are going to come up there. Even if you have signal light there, you're going to have somebody sitting there waiting for all the traffic to come. There's no protected left turn lanes, et cetera. So I think we're going to have a lot of challenges there that need to be looked at a little more holistically. But we fully support your efforts to put that signal light in there, and we will co-advertise with you and help you in your goals to get that to happen. Any questions?
Perfect. Very good.
Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your spirit of partnership. Appreciate that very much. All right. Next is Marilyn.
Merrill.
Marilyn?
No, just Merrill.
Merrill. Yes, Merrill Lawrence.
Good morning, Honorable Judge and Commissioners. I am the Mayor Pro Tem of Northlake. I also happen to live in the Ridge, so I live Robeson Ranch, the driving on Robeson Ranch daily. It has become a huge concern. I am here to echo what our Mayor, Brian Montini, has also said. It is so dangerous right now. Just last week, my husband faced an wrong-way driver on Cleveland right there and Robeson Ranch coming across Robeson Ranch Way. So right now, as the intersection is super dangerous. So thank you so much for your efforts of working on putting a signal there. However, I do agree with our mayor that putting an all-way stop will do more damage than good. We already face so much congestion at the all-way stop on 35 and Robeson Ranch, and being one that drives up and down that street multiple times a day, I think it's just gonna add to the congestion and the traffic that we face. And like you said, many people are not gonna be aware of the stop sign there, the rate of speed, but we do fully support putting in a signal at that intersection. And anything we can do to help with it, please let us know.
Okay.
So thank you very much for your efforts.
Perfect. Good. Thank you very much. All right. Is there anyone else in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to our topic related to the installation? Yes, sir. If you'll please come up, state your name for the record and your address. Thank you, sir.
Gary Koenig, it's Koenig, 9533 Crestview on Robeson Ranch. The putting the signal at Robeson Boulevard and Robeson Ranch Road, while I fully support, my concern is since commercial trucks cannot take the bridge across, which I fully support, to get onto the ranch, it means many of them have to use the inside lane to make the right turn on to Ed Robeson Boulevard because it's a sharp 90-degree with no easement whatsoever for turning trucks. And so as we look at the signal, I have not seen any lane plans, any layout, but there would have to be a right turn lane or definitely a rounded right turn so trucks could make the right to get onto the ranch. Because the way it is right now, they would have to swing to the inside lane to be able to make the right turn, as they do today, to get onto the ranch. And so with a traffic signal and traffic stop there, I don't know how semis and everything that want to pull onto the ranch will be able to easily do so the way the lanes are currently built.
Perfect. Good. Okay. Thank you for that feedback. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Thank you. We'll be sure the engineers look at that as they
We have our
design it.
engineer for this project here, Will Barisi. Will, could you address maybe this concerns that this gentleman had? Thank you.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Will Baresi with the consulting firm BGE. I'm your consultant for the Robeson Road Straighter project. So I don't know exactly what you want me to mention, Commissioner Edmondson, but I'll kind of give a brief overview of where we stand, if that helps. We've turned in our preliminary plans to the county and to the city of Denton for the signal installation at the intersection at Cleveland Gibbs, Ed Robeson, and Robeson Ranch Road. In that design, so yes, we do widen the pavement to the north side of Robeson so we keep the dedicated entrance into Robeson that goes over the bridge. And then we were able to keep two through lanes going, I guess we're talking westbound, and then we will have a dedicated protected left turn. So I know some citizens had mentioned that, and that would be in both ways. So we're widening to the north so we can have a dedicated left-hand turn bay so folks can queue up there as they're waiting to either yield or they have a protected green to take the turn.
Left either direction to head north and south?
East-west.
East-west.
East-west. Okay.
The current plans, we don't alter the northbound approach on Cleveland Gibbs to Robeson, nor do we alter the exit out of Robeson. Right now, that's just, I think out of Robeson, it's a straight and right and then a left.
Yeah.
If you're coming out. We don't change that. If that's something we need to look at, we certainly can, but I agree with what Mr. Polster said as far as timing. We plan on, as Mr. Polster said, we're doing some further investigations on some utilities to make sure we don't run into an issue, but we should have our plans wrapped up by no later than the end of July, and then we turn it over to the city of Denton, and I can't speak for their process to let a project or construction timelines, and so I leave it up to them. We hand it to them, and they go ahead and build it. I'm happy to answer any other questions that y'all have.
Thank you, Will. Y'all have any
Anyone
questions?
else?
Thank you.
All right, good. Thank you, sir. Or anyone else in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to? All right, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
I move to close the public
Motion by
hearing.
Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. What did you want to do?
Judge, I'd like to move that we move forward, that we approve moving forward with the signal light at this intersection. But at this time, I'm not ready to ask for any additional stop signs.
All right, I'll second that. All right, we have a motion to proceed with the installation of the signals at the intersection, but do not do the interim improvement, which is a stop signs, and I would support that as well. Second that. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you all for
today.
being
It's always
here.
good to have the public at our public hearing.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, folks.
Thank you all for being here. We'll take a pause if y'all need to leave, or you're welcome to stay, of course. Thank you all for being here. All right. Next, let's go to item 3A. 3A is approval of a resolution recognizing Denton Bicycle Center as a Denton County heritage business in any appropriate action. And Kelsey, if you'll come forward, and Councilmember Holland, if you'll come forward. And the bicycle. I think this is the first bicycle that's made it into the courtroom.
We've got our first
This is the
prop.
first.
Awesome.
And my audience left. I was trying to sell this.
You were going to sell them all a bicycle? Well, good. Good morning, Joe. Good to have you back.
Good morning. Good morning.
Go right ahead, Kelsey.
Well, on behalf of the Denton County Office of History and Culture, we're excited to recognize Denton Bicycle Center as a Denton County heritage business. This is a program that we have that recognizes local businesses that have been in operation for over 50 years.
Cool. Did you want to say anything, Joe, before we do this?
Yes, I do. Would you bring my gifts? Thank you, and it's wonderful to be back. I miss this building and my wonderful friends here at Denton County. 1971, I was 19 years old and I needed a job, and so I thought, well, every kid needs a bicycle, and every kid has a birthday or Christmas, and so we started doing this. Actually, when I started the business, wheels were actually square. That's how long I've been in the business. And it's been a wonderful opportunity for me. I've raised my kids there,
Yeah.
and we're selling bicycles now to the grandchildren of our original customers, and I'm very, very proud about that. I have something for you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Joe. Nice.
Oh, that's neat.
Very nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm good. Good to see you. Cool. Thank you, Jay.
Judge, thank you, sir. It's very thoughtful of you. 50 years is a long time to be in business.
54 years.
It's fabulous.
Anyway, we still have the same address, the same telephone number we've had for, it'll be 55 years, the 21st of this month.
Wow.
Those cups are just a tiny, tiny bit dated, but gosh, after the meeting, come by and test ride a bicycle. We'd
All
love
right.
to have you.
I want to see Bobby and Diane get on a tandem.
Yeah.
If you sell those. Do you sell tandems? Do you sell tandems? All right, let her have the front.
I'll run the back, that's good.
Order anything.
Would y'all stand for a picture with me?
Yeah,
please?
yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do this, but let me read this resolution real quick, and then we're going to do, yeah, absolutely. We want to do a picture. Let's do, this is a resolution recognizing Denton County Heritage Business and the Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, during a regular session on the 17th day of June, 2025. Consider the following resolution, whereas the Office of History and Culture wishes to recognize businesses that have been in operation for over 50 years with the title of Denton County Heritage Business. And whereas on June the 21st, 1971, Denton Bicycle Center opened its doors at 1700 North Elm Street in Denton. Joe Holland founded the business on the principle of providing customers with a personalized shopping experience in trusted bicycle brands and high-quality repair service. And whereas over the years, Denton Bicycle Center has expanded to offer a variety of different makes and models for students, families, and cyclists. The family-owned operation remains steadfast in supplying the best in bicycles, excellent customer service, and friendly, knowledgeable staff. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court does hereby recognize Denton Bicycle Center as a Denton County heritage business for their continued dedication and service to Denton County. Done in open court, this is 17th day of June, 2025, upon a motion made by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Williams. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is a decal you can put in your window.
We're longer on the history than the culture, so.
Here, do you want to put, they're going to take a picture up there.
Okay.
Do you want to wheel this?
Yeah.
business, yeah. Well, Joe, thank you for doing business in the county all these years, and we appreciate, we wish you much more success. So thank you. All right, let's go to, members, let's go back to item 2, which is our consent agenda. Are there any items you would like to pull off the consent agenda? Do we have a motion for approval as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Our consent agenda today consists of item 2A, approval of the order making appointments and any appropriate action. Item 2B is approval of the payroll. Item 2C is approval of budget amendment request 101210 for Treasury purchases to transfer $30,000 from technology equipment to legal services to pay for Thomson Reuters LexisNexis subscriptions for the remainder of the fiscal year. For the Criminal District Attorney's Office, item 2D is approval of budget amendment request 101220 for Human Resources to transfer $1,000 from hospitality supplies to employee programs as part of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Wellness reimbursement budget to ensure there's sufficient funding for upcoming lunch and learns. And item 2E is approval of the May 2025 Road Superintendent Report presented for recording purposes only and any appropriate actions. Let's proceed over to item 5A, approval of bill report payments from CSCD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, VIT, interest, and DA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Mr. May.
Thank you, Judge. I have one addition today to Argonne Asphalt and Emulsions for $1,395.32.
Perfect. All right. Do we have a motion for the amended bill report? Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 5B, acceptance and approval of the 2024 Denton County Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, independent auditor's opinions, and a single audit report. Mr. May.
Thank you, Judge. I have Clayton Rogers here with Patilla Brown and Hill. He drove down from Waco to see us this morning. And anyway, while he's coming up, I just wanted to mention that probably the number you'd be interested in the most, our general fund reserves went up about $1.5 million. So that's about what it used to be when we had the normal days. So, anyway, I just wanted to mention this was a very challenging year for us because of our financial system conversion, which we're in the middle of today. So anyway, you can take it if you want, Clayton.
Thank you, Jeff.
Perfect. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you all for having me. My name is Clayton Rogers. I am the other member of the PBH intramural basketball team. The face you're used to seeing, John Manning, the audit partner, he wasn't able to make it today. I've personally not ever been here before, but I've been involved.
Well, welcome.
Yeah. It is good to be here. I've been involved in the county's audit for about 5 years now, and I'm happy to be here to talk about the results of the fiscal year 2024 audit and answer any questions that you might have. Documents. The county's single audit report, a separate bound letter that is some required communications that we make to you in writing under our audit standards, as well as the county's annual comprehensive financial report. Now, this document is 140 pages long, and as a CPA who spent a lot of time looking at this document, I would love to give you the 5 minutes per page version of it. But in the interest of time, it's a full agenda. I'm not going to go into any of the detail, but I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have about the audit process. I think if there's one thing that you took away from it, it's that, as Jeff was just talking about some financial highlights, I think something that's very important that we look for as the auditor is, yes, ultimately our engagement is to render an opinion that this document is materially correct. However, it shouldn't be an accident that this document gets here, and that ultimately it shouldn't be where you have to get this document and then go flip through and run to, okay, we need to go see what fund balance looks like. Because ultimately, this document was compiled from systems and processes that the county has in place to where there's really nothing in here that I would be consider to be a surprise. In other words, while there are differences between these final audited numbers and what you've been looking at throughout the year in interim financials, it's mostly things that really, as a matter of practice, only get messed with once a year. And so at the end of the day, these numbers came from the systems that you've been having reported on, and so that ultimately you're able to get this document, and that it, in my opinion, lines up very closely with what you've been seeing about fund balance, about cash reserves, all of those types of things. So just a couple of things about the audit process. We are under actually two separate audit opinions. One is over the financial statements that I just mentioned. The other is over federal and state grant compliance. That's in that little separate bound single audit report. We do a couple of programs. We pick a couple of programs and do a deep dive over compliance with those programs. The big one, of course, being the ARPA funds. I believe it was about $37 million were spent in fiscal year 24. And so we're looking at not every single compliance requirement that there is with those funds, but really what are the big important ones that if the county didn't comply, that Treasury would be very concerned about. I'm happy to report that we were able to render unmodified audit opinions for both of those, both the financial statements and federal and state grant compliance. And what that means is that we believe that the county did materially comply with those programs we looked at, and that the financial statements are indeed materially correct in accordance with accounting principles. Of the four conclusions that we can reach at the end of the audit, that is the best one. It's the highest level of assurance that we can give. At the end of the day also, since we're dealing with taxpayer funds and with federal and state grant funds, they generally don't like having good things to happen by accident. And so we would be also required to report to you if we had found significant problems with internal control that feeds into financial reporting or over grant compliance. And as Jeff said, it was a very challenging year. We have 3 or 4 counties currently that are all making that same software conversion, and none of them are enjoying it. And it's really hard to put into words exactly how much time and effort goes into that and what a strain on staff resources it is. But that all throughout that process, in our opinion, everything that we saw, the county's processes were still there, internal controls were being followed, and that ultimately everything that you want to have in place that feeds into having this document receive a clean audit opinion, all of that was there during the year. And so we have no findings to report, so 2 clean opinions with no findings. That's as good as it gets from our perspective.
Perfect. I like the way that sounds. Members, do you have any other questions?
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate y'all's work on this and your diligence, and I want to thank Jeff. I want to thank you and your entire team because it's not an event. The audit's not an event. It's a process, of preparation and diligence throughout the year to get us to the point we're at today, where it's a clean bill of health. And so I would like the chair would move for approval of the item.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? Any other comments, Jeff? Did you want to make any?
Nope, that's all I have.
Okay, perfect. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Safe travels back. Next is item 5C, approval of the 2026 contract with the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services to provide for reimbursements to Denton County for service provider under Title IV E-Children in any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 5D, acceptance and approval of the county investment reports for the quarter ending March 31st, 2025. Did you want to say anything, Jeff?
Sure. I just wanted to mention that our interest revenues are coming in very similar to last year's, which last year was actually a record high for the county. So, and they're coming in above the revenue estimates in the budget. So they're looking in good shape. And I also wanted to let you know, Cindy Brown and I have been working on, with the changing in the markets, and to everything we can to figure out, okay, is this a better option? And so we've been doing a lot of that behind the scenes, and I know you don't see that, but anyway, I just want you to be aware that's happening. And also I wanted to mention, the Federal Reserve, really the Federal Reserve rate is the key to our investment earnings. And the reserve, the rate is not expected to change. If it does change this year, it will be down a little bit. And that's what the expectations are. So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape as far as investment earnings, at least the rest of the year and probably into the first part of next year.
Perfect. Good. We have a motion by Commissioner Falconer. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6A, approval of specifications for engineering services for electrical and generator upgrades, RFSQ 252866. And appointment of evaluation committee include Chris Matheson, Facility Division Manager, Public Facilities, Alex Savandi, Construction Coordinator, Construction Management, and Steve Pimple, Journeyman Electrician, Public Facilities, and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 7A, a report for miscellaneous equipment and software services presented for recording purposes only. There be no action. Next is 7B, approval of budget amendment request 101190 for the Office of Emergency Management to increase revenues and allocate expenditures for the fiscal year 2025 Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, the TCEQ, Texas Local Emergency Planning Committee grant in the amount of $10,287. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Pardon me. Next is 7C, approval of budget amendment request 101200 for the Technology Services Department to transfer a total of $52,718 in salary and benefits from Elections Administration to Technology Services, Graphic Information Services for the salary and benefits for 2 GIS analyst positions.
I'll move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7D, approval of budget request 101230 for the Sheriff's Administration to transfer $31,500 from capital equipment to radio and radar to cover the purchase of 6 handheld radios.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7E, approval of budget amendment request 101240 for the Sheriff's Office to transfer a total of $28,977 from salary assistance to overtime cash option within various Sheriff's Office budgets to cover a shortage into overtime cash option line item.
I'll move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 7F, approval of budget amendment request 101250 for the county jail to transfer $48,500 from non-departmental unappropriated contingency to out-of-county prisoner expense and $292,600 from Sheriff's Communications Salaries Assistance to county jail overtime cash option outside of the budget amendment and human resources policy as recommended by the budget office for a total transfer of $341,100. Funds are needed due to a shortage of detention officers and to cover the cost of inmates housed in the Cook County Jail.
I'll move to approve. I do have some comments.
Motion by Commissioner Williams. We'll go with second. Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? Go right ahead, please,
Yes,
sir.
So I have been talking to our sheriff about this. I've got some questions about, basically, we are at 60%. So we've hit our number.
For detention officers.
Yes, for detention officers. And I see we've got quite a few more today, which just because they're being hired today doesn't mean they're actually being productive. Some of them may be certified, some may not, but nevertheless.
Training.
But I think that's great. We're headed the right direction for sure. But something I just want you guys to know that we're discussing is, my question is, how much does it cost us to outsource our inmates, which is anywhere from $60 to $70 a day? and then versus the overtime that we're spending to take care of housing all these inmates. So I'm trying to say, okay, where's the fine line? Is it less expensive for us to outsource more so we don't have as much overtime? And if you just look at the numbers from what I have, you know, it's $45 average per hour overtime per employee. And if you put those together, it from my numbers, it appears that to outsource more inmates would make more financial sense. But I may be missing something, so the sheriff and I are having those discussions to figure that out. But I'm just trying to make sure we're utilizing our dollars the best we can, and obviously helping the sheriff's department not be, you know, more overloaded than they have to. So just want to let you know that's kind of what we're having a discussion about.
Perfect, good. Thank you for your efforts on that. Any other comments? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Commissioner. Next is 8A, report from Human Resource regarding hiring actions of elected officials. This is presented for recording purposes only. Mr. Hernandez.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. We have one new hire in the county clerk, 3 new hires in adult probation, 3 new hires in the district clerk, 1 rehire in JP number 5, 7 new hires in the sheriff's office. All of them are detention officer ones.
That's good. That's a lot.
And 2 new hires in the tax office. That's it for Tuesday.
Perfect. Thank you, Gustavo. Next is item 10A, approval of the Bernard Road Addition final plat. This is lots 1 and 2, Block A. This is 7.414 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 12A, approval of the 2025-2026 interlocal agreements for shared governance communications and dispatch services system between Denton County and Argyle ISD, Police Department, the Oak Point Department of Public Safety, Sanger Fire and Police Departments. Any appropriate action?
I move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Edmonds, a second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item 12B, approval of the 2025-2026 interlocal agreements for the use of the Denton County radio communication systems between Denton County and the Argyle ISD Police Department, the Oak Point Police Department, and Public Safety Sanger Fire and Police Department, Sanger ISD Police Department. Any appropriate action? Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13A, approval of the third amendment to tax abatement agreement between Denton County, Texas and WGBP Investments LLC.
I'll move approval.
We have a motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? 4. Do you have a question about it?
No.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We will do these 13s later. Let's go to 14A, approval addendum number 1 to agreement for records management imaging system between Denton County, Texas and GovOS Incorporated as recommended by the Denton County Clerk. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14B, approval of resolution authorizing the interlocal agreement between Denton County, Texas and the state of Texas by and through the Texas Department of Transportation for the Denton County Outer Loop from I-35 to the Dallas North Tollway at the county line, and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Second, we have a motion by Commissioner Williams, seconded by the chair. Any discussion? Well, I'm very excited about us continuing to move forward on this.
Absolutely.
On this project. It's an important legacy project, not only for Denton County, but also for North Texas, and appreciate all your good efforts on that as well, Commissioner. We have a motion and second. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14C, approval of interlocal cooperation agreements for property tax assessments and collection between Denton County, Texas, in each of the following entities. Number 1, the Legends Ranch Municipal Utility District of Denton County. 2, the Canyon Falls Municipal Utility District. Number 1. 3, Oak Point Water Control and Improvement District. Number 2. 4, the Oak Point Water Control and Improvement District. Number 3. 5, the Town of Shady Shore. 6, High Point Ranch Municipal Utility District. Number 1. 7, the North Lake Municipal Management District. Number 1 of Denton County. And 8, the Ponder Independent School District as recommended by the Denton County Tax Assessor Collector.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14D, approval of the mitigation credit purchase agreement between Denton County, Texas and Wildlands Texas Lands LLC for the purchase of 0.5 wetlands credits from the Bunker Sands Mitigation Bank in compliance with the provisions of Section 404 of the Clean Water Act for the Shady Shores project from West Shady Shores Road to Swisher Road in the amount of $30,000 with funding to come from Shady Shores Road Precinct 2, Trip 22, order line up 8974449030, and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14E, approval of supplemental agreement number 1 to the professional services agreement between Denton County, Texas and BGE Incorporated for the Strader Road project from FM 156 to I-35W in the additional amount of $585,351 for a total revised contract amount of $3,560,256 with funding to come from Strader Road, Trip 22, Precinct 4, order line item 94757999050, and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14E, approval of transportation strategic planning, funding, and project management professional services contract between Denton County, Texas and Innovative Transportation Solutions Incorporated, ITS, in the amount of $704,700 per year, with funding for each year in the amount of $704,700 to come from auto line item 0174221040. The chair move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion?
I just want to say that, thank you to their team, and we've actually, this is the first time the increase in prices in 10 years, so I think that's pretty impressive, too.
Perfect, good, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14G, approval of a resolution approving and authorizing the county judge to execute the notice and acknowledgement of collateral assignment of public improvement district reimbursables for the Village Estates Public Improvement District and resolving other matters related thereto and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 17, which is community updates. I was going to open today with this comment. I was focused on other items, but I do want to say that congratulations, Commissioner Edmondson, for hosting Governor Abbott here yesterday. His office had contacted you to see if you would help schedule and host a bill signing. And I'll let you speak about that in greater detail, but about property tax relief here for our residents and our seniors, and also expanding the business personal property, and so I want exemption, and so congratulations on hosting him and to your precinct here in the county, and it was a great turnout. And I was so impressed, not only was the governor and his team there and members of our legislative delegation, but members from across Texas were here and across DFW were here in our county, and the speaker was here, and so it was great, and I want to congratulate you on hosting them, and thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed doing that. And kind of a funny little note, the former county chairman from Lubbock County is Carl Tepper, and he is now a state representative. And on the first day that he was in office was the same first day Richard Hayes was in office.
Yeah.
And Carl and Richard were sitting together, and Carl said, "Oh, you're from Denton County. Do you know Diane Edmondson?" And Richard said, "Oh, well, yeah."
Just
And
a wee
turns
bit.
out Carl was a county chair at the same time I was, and I was part of the team that trained him in becoming
Fun.
county chair. So he's gone a long way, and it's
That's fun. That's great. Well, great. We were glad to have the governor here yesterday, and it was very good news. So, Commissioner Williams.
Oh, thank you. Just a couple things. I want to congratulate Aubrey James Ramsey as Coach of the Year for a wonderful season. And then I've got congratulations to Maya Cherry, softball pitcher for Aubrey, and Delia Millen, softball catcher for Sanger, who were recognized among the state super elite teams by the Texas High School Coaches Association, which is really cool. And I think the other thing that we need to make sure we think is, I want to say I really appreciate all the law enforcement across Denton County, the Sheriff's Department, for really doing a great job of keeping everybody safe during these protests. You know, we obviously have the right to protest, which is wonderful. It doesn't matter what side you are on or not on, but at the end of the day, we didn't have a whole lot of violence to speak of. I think there was some opportunity, and but it didn't occur, and I really appreciate the aggressive mentality of our law enforcement, our local law enforcement, and them putting themselves in possible harm's way. But it turned out to be a great Saturday with really not a whole lot of issues, other than maybe some hurt feelings for some people, but they'll get over it. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Great comments. Commissioner Falconer.
Thank you, Judge. So I want to congratulate Creekview High School in Carrollton, their saxophone ensemble quartet. They were invited to perform at the 79th Annual Midwest Clinic in Chicago, and they received top honors there. So congratulations to them. We have just a few events in Precinct 2 I want to make sure I mention. There is a rainwater collection with the Denton County Master Gardener that will be in Carrollton on the 18th tomorrow, 6 to 7 p.m. at the Rosemead Rec Center. Crossroads has their summer market on the 21st at 8 to 11. That's at 424 and Fish Trap. And then Frisco has MLB Pitch Hit and Run 2025. That's tomorrow also from 4 to 8. That is at the Avenue of the Stars in John Hammond's Drive. So that's all I have.
So much. Commissioner Mitchell.
In Flower Mound, I have Seniors in Motion Elite Chef Competition on June 19th at 6 p.m. In Lake Dallas, there is City Trade Days on June 20th, 8 a.m. to noon. And in Louisville, we have Sound of Louisville on June 17th, 7 p.m. We also have in Louisville on Juneteenth, which is the 19th, Sacred Ground, the Legacy Beneath Louisville, where we're going to be going to the MCL Center to watch the legacy of Louisville and have a lot of great panelists that's going to be talking about it. And on June 19th, the grandmother of Juneteenth, Miss Opal Lee, is again going to complete her annual 2.5-mile walk, excuse me, to recognize the 2.5 years it took for the news and enforcement of freedom to reach the enslaved people. Since this is now a national holiday, she walks every year, and she's going to be walking on Thursday. Seats are limited for senior citizens and mobility challenged. You'll need to register to ride the shows, or just enjoy the music and the community at Farrington Field in Fort Worth. I do have a website if anybody's interested in it, so govern yourself accordingly. And on June 20th, we have a Juneteenth celebration concert in Louisville at 7 p.m. at Wayne Ferguson Plaza. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Losing my voice.
It's all right. Commissioner Edmondson.
Well, let's just remind everyone that the county buildings are closed on Juneteenth. And then here in Denton, we're going to have Twilight Tunes on the 19th from 6:30 at the Little Jack Melody. Oh, that's what they're playing, sorry. Denton Courthouse on the Square. And then they have a drive-in movie out at the Denton Waterworks, and that will be at 7:30 on the 20th. That's a fun night for the whole family to come and splash and wave and watch a movie. In Flower Mound, there's Cones with Comps. Bobby, did you know about that? That just sounds like a real fun thing.
I was waiting for you to tell me.
Well, thank you, okay. On the 17th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., Culver's on Flower Mound Road. It says, come hang out with the Flower Mound PD, grab some giveaways for the kids, and enjoy some ice cream. I think that just sounds like fun. I think we ought to go.
Yes.
All right.
Ice cream is always fun.
Pops are nice, too. Lakeside music services are being held in Flower Mound on the 20th from 7:30 to 9:30 at Lakeside DFW. So this is the 10th year of this musical series on Friday nights, and it'll be a lot of fun, too, but they aren't serving ice cream. So.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, good. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Let's I do want to make an announcement for our employees that watch. I know we do have a lot of our Denton County family watching these, is that we do have a lunch and learn on next Thursday, June 26th, from 12 to 1 during your lunch hour at the Louisville Precinct 3 Government Center about heat-related illnesses and how to identify that, how to prevent it. It'd be a great thing put on by Denton County HR Department, so be sure to want to mention that to everybody. So be sure to attend to that next week. All right, let's go to our executive session, which is 15A, Texas Government Code 551072, deliberation regarding real property. Closed meeting to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. If deliberation in open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of governmental body in negotiations with a third person. 15B is Texas Government Code 55107445A1, personal matters affecting the county advisory body. Close the meeting to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a member of an advisory body with the Denton County MHMR Board. 15C, Texas Government Code 55107445A1, personnel matters affecting the county advisory body. Close meeting to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a member of an advisory body with the Denton County Opioid Abatement Fund Advisory Council. And it is 10:16.
Judge, before we adjourn.
Yes, go right ahead.
On the item 15C, I believe the court needs to take action on item 13C.
You want to do 13 first?
To create the
Board.
advisory council, and
Okay.
then you can.
And then we can just deliberate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 13C, approval of a creation of a Denton County Opioid Abatement Fund Advisory Council. The chair move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, John. I meant to do that. All right, we are in an executive session.